the issue of governance. The key thing we have now, so how do we convey these various talks to the critical elements of the sub-region that can implement it? Our serving governors, our serving parliamentarians, our serving ministers, and so on. And I was impressed because today some governors of the Gambia pay a courtesy call on me. They are young people, 40 plus. And they personally expressed their delight and what they gained in participating in this program as young people that were looking up to lead the sub-region tomorrow. During the parallel session, I decided to go to the platform for the women. And I was quite impressed. The robust conversation among the women. I was pleasantly surprised that the serving judge was a part of the discussion. Normally, judges are very conservative. You hardly see them on platforms like this. So they have done well. And listening to the questions, especially the ones that came from outside this room that were read by some of our young people, that questions directed to the president of ECOWAS, I know the expectation of people, not just within the Sahel, but ECOWAS generally. But my good friend, Dr. Omar Toure, you are doing a great job in ECOWAS. I can say that because I've worked with you after leaving office. And ECOWAS is doing well. In most cases, when you have a child, you don't notice that your child is growing. But the people, friends who visit, or relatives that visit you maybe 2 years, 3 years interval, they are the people who say, this child has grown. But because the child lives with you, so you don't even notice the growth. I used to tell people that if you were to write a textbook on democracy in Africa, some 35, 40 years ago, I'm not sure you'll be able to write 50 pages. But now, if you are going to write a book on democracy in Africa, you can go up to 200 to 300 pages. Yes, we have challenges, but we're also growing. We're also moving. People specifically ask about the 3 countries, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, vis-a-vis ECOWAS. And I can say that ECOWAS now is still even more stable than the time I was the president of I was the chair of the authority of the heads of state and government. That was 2010. That 2010, I was just the vice president, but acting president then. And of course, our president said I should chair I should be the chair of the authority. And it was an enormous responsibility for me. We had coup in Niger. I knew how many times I invited the military man that led the coup. Said, look, you can't stay there for too long. We continued to discuss and discuss and discuss until we quickly made sure the elections were done. We became friends. Burkina Faso, we had the same crisis. It is not new. Military took over. Myself, President Macky Sall, and Tink Mahama flew in, and we said, no, we can't continue this way. Within that day, we were able to get the military out. An interim government that was to stay for 9 months to 1 year and conduct election was set up. Of course, even Mali, 2012, that's how myself and the former president became friends. When there are crises in Mali, 2012. I remember one day I flew into Mali very early in the morning. I stayed there till about 12 midnight before I flew back to Abuja. Finally, we were able to stabilize the country. became acting president until elections were conducted. Even Cote d'Ivoire, during the problem between Ouattara and Gbagbo, the stalemate after the elections, it was led to civil war. About 3,000 people died. I was still the chair of the authority, and I knew what we did to stabilize the country. Togo, at the time, was also very tense. Sierra Leone was very tense. Then it was very tense. I remember there was a day I was in Kenya, in Nairobi, and I got a call from Benin. So I have to return back immediately. I didn't even stop in Abuja. I have to fly into Cotonou immediately. And we engaged, and we were able to bring the tension down. So, and if you look at what is happening now, even these three countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, to me, just like we discussed about transition, these are countries that are in transition. That cannot be the final government. But it's good that ECOWAS is becoming quite diplomatic to manage the situation. These problems will be resolved. And I believe the sub-region will even be better off.